outbreak cases is have done at Tomohon, North Sulawesi. As you know, rabies is a disease that carried from the bite of infected dogs. This outbreak have killed 4 people at the village. Almost all villagers in Kakasan have dogs in their house.
To know more about current situation in the village, I will give Els local reporter. Els, do you hear me?
Yes.
How's condition in there?
Yeah.
Please.
Okay. Now I'm here in Kakasan village with one villager, Ma'am Fitria. Sorry, ma'am, for the loss of your husband.
Yeah, thank you.
Actually, how do you feel about this case?
Actually, I'm very, very sad because I have to lose my husband last night because of rabies disease. That actually really breaks my heart.
Can you tell me how it actually happened chronologically?
Okay, 2 weeks ago that my husband just come from the field and just bite by a dogs. I don't know what dogs it, and he comes to home and just compress the bite wound by worm, and after that 3 days again he got fever, high fever, and when I bring him to the Puskesmas and it was too late by the doctor.
Okay. Actually, do you know about rabies?
I don't really know exactly, but I just know that the people here the symptom.
Okay. According to the case that happened, has the stakeholders or health professional have done something to prevent what happens in your village?
Oh yeah, there is animal husbandry office to give the vaccine to the dogs around these villages, and then health office too, the vaccine to our family, all of the village. But I don't know why this a mess. I have to again.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm very sorry for your loss, for the loss of your husband.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm Elsie from Tomohon. Thank you.
Thank you, Els. We have to hear more about rabies from the expert. Patricia?
Thank you, Mr. Alif. Now I'm in the laboratorium with a local pet in Tomohon, Miss Patricia. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah. So we know that there's an outbreak called rabies in the village on Tomohon. So many other community has been maybe confused about what the disease and what the cause of that. So can you give the definition about what rabies and how the sign and symptoms about this disease?
Okay, so first, I'm Patricia. I'm local vet in Tomohon. So I'm talking here about the responding about the rabies cases in Tomohon. Actually, rabies is like an infectious disease, and it's zoonotic and caused by a rabies virus spreaded by dogs and can be cats and monkeys and bats.
So what the situation now is being a cure in Tomohon?
Now we're still responding, we're still fighting to the eradication of the rabies, and then like it's already 10 cases here from the January 2017 until now. So we're still eradicating for the rabies. Okay.
So is there any role of government to adjusting this disease?
Okay, like the government is already funding about 800 million for the vaccination, and here my assistant like doing the mixing the vaccine for the vaccination program in Tomohon.
So the last question is, you are being an expert. So what your recommendation and advice to solve this problem that we hope that it never gonna be happen an outbreak again?
Okay, for the people of Tomohon, first you have to stay calm because like a local vet and the government still working hard to eradicate this rabies. And then like if you saw people getting bitten by the dogs or the animals, and please report immediately to the local vet. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Patricia. So this is my interview with the local pet in Tomohon. I'm gonna be going back to the answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miranda from the laboratorium. So, good people, we know that rabies is dangerous disease that can spread immediately. I hope from now on you have heard about this information. You have to come if you find the cases and be aware of the signs and symptoms. If you have found the people with the sign of symptoms, you can seek medical help immediately. So that's all for us. I'm Yayan and my partner.
Alif.
Good afternoon and have a nice day.
Good afternoon, Indonesia. Good afternoon, Jakarta. Today is Tuesday, July 25, 2017.
I'm Alice.
And this is Sophia.
From the national news, we have a highland malaria outbreak in Homeo district, Papua province.
And for the international news, Dutch police travels to MH17 site.
In science, BEMO found effective against coconut scale insects. And we will go back to the first national news. This is the first malaria outbreaks in Indonesia, and connecting to Tia live from Homeo, Papua. And we just get the information that 36 people dead. Tia, can you hear me?
Hello, doctor. Can you introduce yourself?
Hello Tia, my name is Dr. Imanda and I work here in Puskesmas Homeo.
Okay. I wanna ask you about the malaria. What is malaria?
Malaria is a life-threatening disease caused by Plasmodium and it's transmitted by Anopheles mosquito.
And how to make we know about the people get infected with the parasite?
In some patients, we will see them cold, fever, shivering, and some patients will have no consciousness, and their face will be look yellowish color, especially on their eyes.
And how to treat those patients?
We will treat this patient with ACT, artemisinin drugs, and it's recommended by WHO. But the most problem is in our area, the only very limited drugs and very limited facilities. And today, I just found the data that there are 36% death suspect of malaria. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, doctor. We will go back to the studio.
Thank you, Tia.
And now let us go to Della at the highland in Papua.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, thank you, Sophia and Alice. Now I am Nadala from the Homeo district. We'll reporting you all about this condition in this area. There is a massive deforestation in this area. There are, as we can see there are many ponds with no fish and ground pots with ideal temperature, salinity, and acidity that can cause breeding site of the mosquito. Plus, that honey home doesn't has any window, and light at the night can cause a mosquito comes and bite the people inside the house. That's all from me. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Della. So there, they have said that the malaria outbreak was caused by the new land program, which caused deforestation, hence creating more breeding sites for the Anopheles mosquitoes. And they've also mentioned that the Papua has been using repellent to prevent malaria. And they also hope that the committee stops the new land program so that the malaria outbreak would end soon. So that is all for tonight. This is Sophia.
This is Alice. Thank you and have a good afternoon.
And with me, Armando Prayogo as news anchor.
And I'm Hartina Samosir as new anchor. Okay, good people, this day we have a news from anthrax disease.
Many people was infected by anthrax in Kulon Progo, Yogyakarta. Anthrax is caused by Bacillus anthracis bacteria.
And now we have connected with our reporter in Sarjito Hospital in Yogyakarta. Hello, Sasa.
Hello, Tina.
Can you tell us what situation in your location now?
Okay, thank you. Hello, I am Sasa reporting from Sarjito Hospital. So, there's a huge concern regarding the disease-related anthrax. There was reported case of 9-year-old boy who died because he was suspected of having contracted Bacillus anthracis. There was also 16 reported cases of skin infection after having undercooked meat which was suspected to be infected with anthrax bacillus. And now we have here a regional secretary, Sir Astungkoro. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, so how was this situation was being recognized at first, actually?
Okay, well, it occurred on November 12 ago, and that was one of our villagers slaughter the cattle that having a suspected the anthrax disease, and then the cases were spread out to the another villagers, and then we do a check it, and the results are positive.
Okay, sir. So what did the stakeholder do to face this situation?
Okay, actually, we do surveillances to these cases, and then the health ministry has been make report to our governor.
Okay, thank you so much, Sir Asungkoro. Okay, so the Ministry of Health is currently investigating the cases to confirm whether the death of and skin infection are caused by the anthrax infection. The government wants the public to practice a healthy lifestyle and cook the meat, even though the cases are not confirmed yet. This is all I get from Sarjito Hospital. I will give it back to Tina.
Thank you, Sasa.
Okay, the next, we have the solution to solve anthrax disease problem, and this news will be reporting live from Boyolali. We have connected with Chandra. Hello, Chandra.
Okay, thank you, Tina and Manda. And Boyolali has survived from anthrax for 27 years. Today, we will interview 3 people to find different perspective of how they overcome their previous problem. So, today, the first one, I want to ask you, as the farmer, what do you know about anthrax disease?
Okay, before I don't know what the anthrax is because my cattle have the death suddenly, and I don't know why. Now I'm become poor people and I don't have money more, and my cattle is about 10 cattle is dead suddenly, and through about the bleeding in the nose, and then my last neighbor is same too. The happen is same too. But maybe for the doctor or the Prof can help us. Thank you.
So you have experienced this disease at your region and your community, right? Okay. So how did you overcome your problems back then?
Now I more keep the healthy of my farm, and then I can buy for cattle from the outside. Maybe always trade my cattle in maybe in Solo, Central Java.
Okay, thank you for this interview. So the next one, we will interview one of our livestock officer, and this is our government officer. And today we have this Mr. Sanjung. Good morning, Mr. Sanjung.
Good morning.
Okay, today I would like to ask you about how this disease affects your region.
Well, the disease already spread to several cattle farm, and we already quarantined that cattle farm, and we have sent disinfection team to that cattle farm in order to stop the disease from spreading.
So how do you prevent and control your region has survived from this disease? So how did you prevent or overcome this problem?
Yeah, like I have said before, we already quarantined, and we have sent several disinfection team to the affected cattle farm, And we also have dispatched several identification teams to the cattle farm across Boyolali in order to detect the spread of the disease. We also have burned and buried the dead bodies of the animal to help control the disease. And the Department of the Health already distribute and administer the anthrax vaccine to the local population in order to protect them.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sanjung. So, the last person, we have this doctor from Boyolali, to explain us about how they prevented or overcome their problems. Okay, good morning, Mr.
Good morning and thank you. So first of all, the most common form of anthrax you can find here is your cutaneous anthrax, which can be acquired through a cut in your body and the anthrax spores entering that cut. And so its symptoms will be a raised itchy bump and that resembles an insect bite and then developing into a painless sore that has a black center. In cases like this where cows and cattle are affected, gastrointestinal anthrax can also happen by ingesting undercooked meat with common symptoms such as nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, and headache. So if you are suspected to have eaten an undercooked meat in an endemic area where anthrax is spreading, then you must immediately proceed to your local health center or hospital for post-exposure prophylaxis.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Denzel. So that's all from Boyolali. Okay, back to the studio with Tina and Manda.
Okay, thank you, Chandra.
Yeah, good people, we must be aware about this case.
As we know, anthrax is caused by animal to human, and it's called zoonosis disease.
I think enough from National TV One Health.
Thank you so much for watching.
Have a nice day and goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm Lisa and my partner.
Marlene, you are seeing Breaking News Indonesia at One Health TV. I will bring you some actual information happening around the country. For today, we have a topic: poultry sudden death, avian influenza re-emerge. We have a live report.
In 2015, Indonesia faced 50% poultry was infected by the avian influenza that caused 100 poultry sudden death. Yesterday, at July 24, 2017, at Sidrap, poultry sudden death. Is it avian influenza? We have a live report from our local reporter from Sidrap, South Sulawesi. Hello, Dede.
Okay, hello Lisa and Marilyn, thank you. Okay, so good afternoon ladies and gentlemen, I'm Made Ayudita and now I'm in Sidrap district in South Sulawesi and now also I'm with the local farmer there. This is Mr. Rusmin. Hello Mr. Rusmin.
Hello, good afternoon.
Okay, so I would like to ask you about some things that happen in this poultry flock. So how many sudden deaths that you have counted in your poultry flock?
Until now, there are 1,000 chicken die. That's so many, and that's my last chicken I have.
Oh, so that was such a good number, but yeah, there's still a few chicken left. And do you notice any like clinical signs or clinical signs if your chickens is sick like that?
Actually, I don't know anything about the clinical season in avian influenza, but I come to my flock and I see my chicken is die.
Oh, they are dying that fast, like this, so sudden, right? Okay, so have you reported this huge number of deaths to the local government?
Yes, I have to report it to the local government, and they say to waiting for the laboratory result.
Okay, so hope it will coming up soon, right? So if you could estimate how much the financial loss due to this huge number of deaths.
I don't know. I don't know really sure about the estimate for that. But I know I'm bankrupt now. I lose my chicken and I lose my money.
Okay, I feel sorry for your huge death. So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, considering this huge number of poultry deaths, we remind you that be aware if you find a huge number of poultry that is dying suddenly, and please report the death to the local government. Okay, let's go back to the studio. Please, Lisa and Marilyn.
Thank you for the information today. We are heading to Puput. Puput, what information do you get from the government?
Okay, thank you, Marilyn and Lisa. Here I am in a Sidrap South Celebes, and now I'm with Mr. Eka from the head of the Department of Health. From Animal Health, and Mr. Basir from the Department of Health of Sidrap South Celebes. Okay, Mr. Eka, I want to ask you about what actually happened about in the poultry of the in the Sidrap nowadays. Is it an emerging disease of avian influenza?
Okay, thank you. We are now can say what is actually happened in our land because we are in work hard to find what is the causes, because yeah, you're right, there is a sudden death in our poultry flock, but we trying to trying to find what is actually happened.
Thank you. Would you mind to give any information about the recent data of the death of the poultry in the Sidrap?
The recent data of the sudden death in Sidrap is reached to 200 sudden death.
We also heard that there is a mismatch number from the local farmers and from the government. Would you mind to explain why this is happened?
We assume that because our local farmer or our local avian farmer doesn't report to us what is actually happened in their avian flock. So yeah, there's happened and the number is reached to up, and we don't know it's happened like that, I think.
Thank you, Mr. Eka. Now we are talking with Mr. Basir. Mr. Basir, is there any cases of avian influenza detected recently?
Okay, thank you very much. From the Directorate of Laboratory in South Sulawesi, from avian influenza, do not accept to report to the Directory Laboratory that which the hypothesis that the not the virus avian influenza or do not virus thing.
Okay, so it has been investigated about this case has been investigated. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, from this interview, we can conclude that this is not responsibility of one sector, but also many sectors. For example, from the Department of the Animal Health and also the Department of Health. Okay, thank you. That's all from the Sidrap South Celebes. I'm giving back to Marilyn and Lisa in Jakarta.
Thank you, Puput. By the urgency of this problem, we need the health department. We hope health department and the Department of Animal Husbandry, Animal and Health have to respond and work fast to overcome this problem. And we have the government have to be aware of this issue as multidisciplinary and need collaborative work. All right, viewers, that's the end for the news. That's the end of the news for today. I'm Lisa and my partner Melin with the crew of the Breaking News Indonesia. The best local TV in Indonesia have to say goodbye. Thank you for joining us, and be sure to join us tomorrow with some other actual information on the same channel at the same time. Thank you for attention and goodbye for now. See you next time.
Audio Jungle.